Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for those new here, hi, my name is Jenny. I'm a family medicine physician and a mom of two. And so today I want to talk to you guys about 3 of the things that I have started incorporating into my life that has really changed the trajectory of how my life has progressed. And I would say that it has made me a lot happier, healthier, and also I would argue that it has also saved my marriage. And so if you guys are interested, then keep on watching. So a little bit of backstory for those of you who don't know me. I met Stan just before I started applying for medical school. And then we started dating. We got married when I was a 3rd year. I had Wyatt when I was a 4th year medical student. I graduated, started residency about 8 weeks later. We bought a house, and then at that time we moved in together. And then I had another baby my 2nd year of residency. And to be brutally honest with you all, Stan and I were at a very dark place, probably around residency. And I remember sitting there and thinking to myself, like, how did we get here? Like, Stan and I were doing long distance relationship when I was in medical school. And we didn't communicate a lot, but at the same time, it was good for me because I was studying a lot. And then my parents, especially specifically my mom, did not approve of Stan. And so there was like so much going against us that I don't know where we went wrong, but I just knew, we both knew that we were in a place that we didn't want to be. We were at our rope's end, and we just knew that we didn't want to continue like this and that something needed to change, but we both didn't know what to do. And so the first thing that I started doing was listening to audiobooks. And I have been since listening to audiobooks, and I feel like it has significantly changed my life and our relationship. And let me tell you why. So I started off listening with Audible, and then I moved on to Libby because one of you guys had actually recommended it to me. It is an app that has free audiobooks that you can borrow using a library card. And then through listening to audiobooks, I have really changed my perspective on life. Like Stephen Covey taught me about building relationships, that love is never just created, it's made. You know, like it just doesn't appear. You have to constantly put in the work for it to grow and foster and blossom. When you're at a certain point, you're like, oh, I'm not in love with you anymore. Like, I love you as a human, but I'm not in love with you. So Stephen Covey actually talked about that whole incident and saying that, do you really are not in love with this person, and the lust is not there because you don't put as much in? Is it because you don't treat your partner like how you were when you first dating? That's why your feelings are different. Maybe that's why. And so he taught me a lot of these questions that I should ask myself and self-reflect, and then in turn change that and put it into our relationship. So instead of saying like the love is not there anymore, I'm gonna work on pouring more and building more into this relationship, and then so that we can both win, like a win-win concept that he also talks about in his book of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Or like Brené Brown, how she taught me so much about anxiety and shame, and how much I have of that just growing up in an Asian household where I felt like I wasn't good enough and that I would never be enough. And so all that resentment I carried within myself, I like transferred into my relationship. And so learning how to deal with those things also made us better as a couple. Or like Simon Sinek, how he talks about the infinite mindset and talks about vulnerability and building that into a relationship. So if you guys don't know the infinite mindset, if you just think about it, like you can't win at the game of parenting. Like you might have some good days and you might have some bad days, but you can never really win like I'm winning as a parent, but by what means? Like, is it today? Is it tomorrow? Like, what are you winning? Seeing the world with an infinite mindset, it has taught me to focus more on myself rather than others. You know, we can all win. It has created like less worry and less anxiety. So many good things, so many new influences, so many different perspectives and views on life. And I never would have been able to see all these things if I hadn't read them, if I wasn't able to see through another person's eyes. And so that's why I felt like it was super helpful to me. Bush, London. There you go. Hi. Daddy's home. You don't want daddy?
No.
You just want mama. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. London woke up from his nap. But I just wanted to also mention that this might not work for everyone. Stan tried doing the same things. He also tried to listen to some of the audiobook recommendations that I gave him, and he felt like it didn't have the same life-changing perspectives that I got from the books. It possibly because like I'm more open at this point in my life, or I have a different view, or just like readiness to conquer some of my own personal demons. And that's why I'm such a huge advocate for counseling and therapy, because there's only so much that you can do on your own. You need someone else there to help guide you, to work through things, to talk through things, and to give you some resources that you might not know on your own, to see a perspective that you might not see on your own. And that's why I like to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring this part of the video. If you guys don't know, BetterHelp is a secure online platform where they have helped over 1 million people connect with a licensed professional therapist. And what's great about them is that they are affordable and they're fast. The most difficult thing for me as a doctor is that when patients come in and they want to see a counselor or a therapist, I write the referral. It has to be processed, it has to be cleared by insurance, and then they get onto a schedule to see a therapist, or they get on a wait list. Some of my patients have waited for weeks, if not months, just to see a licensed counselor. And so with BetterHelp, they have said that they can connect you with a therapist within 48 hours, and you can start communicating with them right away. What's even better than that is that you can continue to rotate counselors until that you find that perfect fit for you. And I think that continuity is super important coming from a primary care physician, but continuity, someone who knows you, someone who you can trust, is so important in counseling and in therapy. They are also known to be more affordable and have financial aid options. And so BetterHelp is available worldwide. If you guys are interested in trying BetterHelp for yourself, visit betterhelp.com/JennaLay. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/JennaLay, and you'll get 10% off your first month. All right, let's jump back to some of my tips. Tip number 2 that I've done that really changed my life is waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Before you guys leave, hold on a second. And let me just remind you that I'm a mom, and my kids wake up at either 6, 6:30, on a good day, 7 o'clock. And so it is really hard for me to find time for myself if I don't wake up at 5 a.m. I'm not saying you have to, but I'm saying you should wake up 1 to 2 hours before you have responsibilities for the rest of your day. So say you have work at 8 a.m., try to wake up at 6. And the reason why I said that is because in life, I give so much to other people. Like, I'm a mom, I give everything to my children. I'm a wife, I try to give as much as I can to Stan. I'm a doctor, and I'm constantly giving to my patients. Like, they consume my thoughts, my feelings a lot of the time. And it's hard to continuously give to other people when your cup is not full. And the only time I have found for myself is at 5 o'clock in the morning. And the reason why I say do it in the morning rather than at night is because I've tried that before and it doesn't really work. At the end of the day, I am just so exhausted. And so I end up sitting there just laying on the couch, feeling like a blob and watching trashy reality TV. And it doesn't really do me anything. It doesn't make me feel any better. It doesn't make me feel rejuvenated as it does, like, say, if I woke up in the morning. You can do whatever you want to do in the morning. You can meditate, you can draw, you can look at your plants and just admire your plants. You can journal, gratitude journaling. It's so much better. Like, feed yourself first, pay yourself first, and then give whatever else to others. Waking up at 5 a.m. has really made me feel better, and I really feel like more rejuvenated. I feel happier. I feel like I have more to give. I have more energy, even though I'm up so early. I feel more accomplished because I feel like I've done something for myself in that day. And so at least, like, by the time my children get up, I've done something. So if you haven't tried it, wake up just like 1 or 2 hours before you have to do something, and do that for a couple weeks and see how it goes. So on to number 3 is I started exercising on a regular, consistent basis. And originally it started off more as like a weight loss journey. Like, I wanted to lose some weight, and as of this far, I have only lost 2 pounds over the last like 5 months. So I have not lost a lot, but I feel stronger. I feel good about myself, and I feel like I have more energy. My mind feels more crisp, I want to say, like recall is better. I don't know, I just feel healthier. And so there's a lot of health benefits to working out and exercising rather than just weight loss. It decreases your cardiovascular risk. It decreases the chances of heart attacks and strokes. You build more muscle. You increase your like resting metabolic rate. So lots and lots of things. I personally do it at 5 o'clock in the morning because I have not found a time where I can do it later. I'm just exhausted at the end of the day. I always end up making excuses, so it never happens. But I think that is something that has really made me happier. Like, all the endorphins that I get when I work out, or when I lift heavy weights, or like when I lift up my kid now, and I'm just like, oh, he's not that heavy, you know? And I just feel good about myself. Like, I was working out a lot when I was in med school, and I kind of lost that and gave that up when I got pregnant with Wyatt, and then went through my residency. So it is nice to get back to it. It's nice to have some sort of routine and consistency. I personally have Tempo, and it's super easy for me because I just turn it on and the program already tells me what I want to do. I just had to pick the program at the beginning of the 5 or 6 weeks or whatever. And so I have really been enjoying that. Not saying that you have to get Tempo, but I'm saying that you should work out in general. There's plenty of free online workouts that you can follow. And then there's also studies that have shown that once you start working out, you will also make better food choices. And so now that I have been exercising more, I feel like I want to eat more vegetables. I've moved more towards a plant-based diet. And so all these other health outcomes have in turn just fallen into place because I feel like I'm just making healthier choices because I feel healthier after I worked out. So those are the 3 things that I have really incorporated into my life that has made me happier, healthier, and really changed and better my relationship because I am a better person. And so I hope you guys learned something today. Share your thoughts and anything you can learn about yourself or about your relationship and how you've grown in the comment section below. I love learning from other people and getting to know one another. Once again, thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. Check them out in the link in the description box down below. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up, and peace.